Yo, what is up, everyone? Power BI tooltips are already flexible, not like me. But sometimes you don't need another visual. You don't need a full report page tooltip. Sometimes you just need one clear sentence that explains exactly what the user is looking at. So, you know what we like to do? Enough of all this talking. Let's head over to my laptop. Okay, already have my report open. And let's take a look at this line chart, gross revenue over time. If I hover over, let's say April, for example, a full sentence comes up and it tells me that the property that I have selected generated a certain amount of revenue for that month. Now, what if I cross highlight? So I'm going to go to the segment chart and I'm going to choose a part of it there. And if I hover and I go back, right, you're going to see it generated this part of the total revenue for this month for this hotel. And if I hover and hover, it just works for every month. The chart shows the highlight, but the sentence explains what was highlighted. Okay, before I start building anything, I want to explain something. You can see I have my line chart here, and the total gross revenue is $3.6 million for this month. When I cross highlight, if I hover here, it says for that leisure travel, it's 3.3 million. But if I choose it, then you can see it shows the portion of revenue for that month that belongs to leisure traveler. I'm just giving a little more context to the user. Let me show you how I built this. Okay, I'm going to start by creating a new measure in my model. So I'm going to right click here. I'm going to choose new measure and I'm going to call it RL gross revenue tooltip sentence. And I'm going to start by creating some variables. It's going to be the property name and this is going to be selected value. And we've done this a million times in these videos. Property. And if there's no selected value, I'm just going to say selected properties and return. Oh, hang on 1 second. Got to close that out. And I'm just going to return this variable for now because I want you to see what I'm doing. So all my measure does right now is return the selected property name. And that would be based on this slicer. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my visual where I want my sentence tooltip, and then I'm going to configure it. So I'm going to go find revenue. And on that visual, my new measure that I created for my tooltip, I'm going to drop it right there. Now, if I hover, what you're going to see is that it automatically just adds that to the modernized tooltip in Power BI. But you need one more step. And I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to go to properties. And if I expand tooltips, you'll see that it says sentence template, and then you can change it to report page, but we're not using report page. So you can type out what you want. And then this little part of the template that you provide that's wrapped in squirrely braces is your measure. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the name of this measure and I'm building the entire sentence in my measure. I'm not going to build it here. So you can put strings and then it'll do the concatenation for you, providing multiple measures. I'm just going to build the entire thing out in DAX. Squirrely brace and close it with the squirrely brace. Make sure you have sentence format on, and I like to bold mine. And so now when I go over here, you'll see it just displays the selected property. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to continue to build this out. So I'm going to go over here. I'm not going to make you watch me type all this, but check this out. Let me show you. So I already have this on the clipboard. And so I need it for the month name, I need it for the year number, and I need revenue. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to start building my sentence out. And so you can see property name, ampersand. And then what I'm going to do is say space generated. And if I check this now, barring my DAX is syntactically correct, if I hover, you'll see how it starts building out my sentence. And so I'm going to add one part and then we'll add the rest of it just so you can see how it continues to build out. And so if I do that and do this, and you can see it continues to build out the entire measure. I'll make sure the DAX is available somewhere for you so you can test this out on your own. And now, basically what I'm doing is I'm getting all the selected values that I need to display, including my measure. And then I'm just concatenating it out to build a sentence. You can concatenate and build the entire sentence template right here if you want to. I just prefer to do it in my measure. And so once my measure is created, I can go hover right here and you can see that's my entire sentence. Let me uncheck this for now and we're going to focus on just this part, right? And so you can see I messed up a little bit because after generated, I don't have a space. Well, all I need to do is go to my measure. And if I put a space right after that, click check, you're going to see now I fixed it. This first version works. The sentence is written once and the report supplies the context. until, remember at the beginning of the video when I did the cross highlighting, until I do the cross highlighting. So let me select the leisure travelers segment. And so now you can see the tooltip value, it completely changes. But now the sentence isn't telling the full story. The amount of the tooltip is the leisure travelers portion of that month. It isn't the total monthly revenue. So the number is technically correct. It's just the wording isn't precise enough. I want the report consumer to know that this portion of the revenue is based on the filter context, the filter that I have in my segment chart to the right. So I wanted to start saying something like, this is the leisure travelers portion and a guest segment selected. So let me update the measure. So let's go over here, choose my measure, and I need 3 more selections. And it can get long because you need to address all of these things. So when I select leisure travelers, I can retrieve the name. Next, I need 2 different revenue values. The first is easy, the highlighted revenue. That's a piece of cake. The second value is the full monthly revenue. For that one, I need to calculate the gross revenue, but then I'm going to remove the filters from that segment. Right at the bottom, I'm going to change my return. My return is going to have a lot of stuff in it. This part is important. I'm not removing every filter. The month still matters. The property still matters. The year still matters. I'm only removing the guest segment filter. So now I have 2 values, the highlighted revenue and the total revenue. Now I can check whether a guest segment is selected. If it is, I return a different sentence. So you can see right here. So if the guest segment is not blank, I return a completely different sentence. Otherwise, I just return the sentence I was showing before in the initial DAX. So I'm going to check this. Hopefully all my syntax is correct. Now let's switch year. Let's go to 2026. Let's uncheck this and then choose a different hotel. And now when I hover, we get what we saw before because there's no cross highlighting, right? Remember, I said in the DAX, I'm checking to see if segment is filtered. If segment is not filtered, it'll display our original sentence. If segment is filtered, watch this. So leisure traveler is selected, and then you'll see it adds everything I need. The report now has the full context. Leisure traveler contributed this amount of the total gross revenue in that month. If I go and change, you'll see it changes month, but it still has the full story. If I switch to business traveler, you can see it does the exact same thing. Now, I want to be really clear about something. Sentence tooltips do not replace the other tooltip options in Power BI. The standard tooltips, they're great. If the labels and values already tell the user what they need to know, use them, they're there. You don't have to do any work. But for this particular visual, I don't need another report page. The user really only needs to understand 3 things. What is the highlighted amount? What is the total? And how do those values relate? One sentence, in my case, could answer that. And because that sentence is backed by DAX, it responds to the same semantic context as the rest of the report. The hovered month, the selected property, the selected year, even the cross highlight coming from another visual. To me, that's pretty cool. See you in the queue.